The Battle of Isandlwana, the Zulu victory over British forces in 1879. Welcome to Real African History. Today, we're diving into the incredible journey through the heart of Africa. Imagine a seemingly invincible army, armed with rifles and cannons, marching confidently into a foreign land. Now imagine that same army utterly crushed by warriors wielding spears and shields. This is not a scene from a movie, it's a historical event. Welcome to the Battle of Isandlwana, the day when the mighty British Empire faced one of its most humiliating defeats at the hands of the Zulu Kingdom. In January 1879, the plains of South Africa witnessed one of the most shocking defeats in British colonial history. The mighty British Empire, at the height of its power, suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the Zulu Kingdom in a battle that echoed across the world. The Battle of Isandlwana was not just a clash of weapons, but a collision of cultures, strategies, and determination. How did the Zulu warriors, armed with spears and shields, overcome the disciplined, well-armed British troops? The Battle of Isandlwana, fought on January 22, 1879, remains one of the most astonishing and significant military defeats in British colonial history. It was a day when the British Empire, known for its military strength, suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of the Zulu Kingdom. This confrontation between the British Empire and the Zulu Kingdom marked a turning point in the Anglo-Zulu War. Let's explore this remarkable event, its background, key moments, and its legacy. The Zulu Kingdom, a nation of warriors. The Zulu Kingdom was at its height in the late 19th century. Founded by the legendary Shaka Zulu earlier in the century, it had grown into a formidable regional power. By 1879, King Cetshwayo Tpain ruled the kingdom, determined to maintain its independence against encroaching European colonial powers. Zulu society revolved around a strict military tradition. Young men underwent rigorous training in fighting techniques and discipline. They used short stabbing spears, known as assegais, and large cowhide shields. Though they lacked the modern rifles and artillery of European armies, their organization and tactics were unparalleled. One of their key strategies was the buffalo horns formation. The central force, or the chest, engaged the enemy head-on, while the horns encircled from both sides, and the loins, a reserve force, provided reinforcement when needed. This tactic would prove decisive at Isandlwana. The build-up to war. By the late 1800s, Southern Africa was a land of opportunities and conflicts. The discovery of diamonds and gold had attracted European powers, especially the British Empire, which sought to dominate the region. However, their ambitions collided with the Zulu Kingdom, a powerful state with a rich history and an army unmatched in discipline and tactics. The British Empire, expansion and overconfidence. By contrast, the British Empire was in its imperial heyday. South Africa, rich in resources and strategically important, was a prime target for expansion. The British saw the Zulu Kingdom as an obstacle to their plans of consolidating their colonies into a single federation. Sir Bartle Frere, the British High Commissioner in South Africa, viewed the Zulus as a threat that needed to be neutralized. He issued an ultimatum to King Cetshwayo, demanding the disbandment of the Zulu army and other conditions that would have effectively ended Zulu sovereignty. When Cetshwayo refused, the British declared war. The British forces were led by Lieutenant General Lord Chelmsford. Confident in their superior weapons, including Martina Henry rifles and field artillery, they underestimated the Zulu warriors. Chelmsford divided his forces into 3 columns, intending to converge on the Zulu capital, Ulundi. The stage is set. The central column, led by Chelmsford himself, consisted of around 1,700 British and colonial troops, supported by over 400 African auxiliaries and civilians. On January 20, 1879, they reached Isandlwana, a rocky hill that loomed over the surrounding plains. Despite their experience, the British made a critical error. They did not properly fortify their camp. Chelmsford, believing that the Zulus would not dare to attack, focused his attention on finding and engaging the Zulu army in the open. On the morning of January 22nd, he led half his forces out of the camp to pursue a rumored Zulu force, leaving the rest behind with orders to hold the camp. Unbeknownst to Chelmsford, the main Zulu army, numbering around 20,000 warriors, was hidden just a few miles away. The Zulu advance. The Zulu commanders, Nchingwayo Mahol and Mavumengwana Ndlela, had meticulously planned their attack. They had been waiting for the right moment to strike, and Chelmsford's departure provided the perfect opportunity. By mid-morning, Zulu scouts reported that the British camp was vulnerable. The Zulu army moved swiftly, using the hilly terrain to conceal their advance. At around 11 a.m., British scouts spotted the approaching Zulu force. The alarm was raised, and the camp scrambled to prepare for battle. The British formed a defensive line, stretching their troops thin across the plain. They believed their superior rifles and artillery would be enough to repel the attack. However, they underestimated the speed and coordination of the Zulu warriors. The battle begins. The Zulus advanced in their classic buffalo horns formation. The chest charged directly at the British line, drawing their fire. Waves of warriors fell to the rifle volleys, but the Zulus pressed on, showing incredible courage and discipline. Meanwhile, the horns swung around to encircle the camp. The British, realizing they were being flanked, tried to adjust their positions, but their lines were stretched too thin. Compounding their problems was the disorganized ammunition supply. Soldiers had difficulty accessing cartridges, and as their ammunition dwindled, the Zulu warriors closed the gap. Chaos in the camp. By early afternoon, the battle descended into chaos. The Zulus broke through the British lines, engaging in brutal hand-to-hand combat. The British soldiers, trained for conventional warfare, were ill-prepared for the ferocity of the Zulu assault. The camp became a scene of pandemonium. Soldiers and civilians alike tried to flee, but the Zulu horns had encircled the area, cutting off any escape routes. Only a few managed to break through and reach the safety of the natal border. The Zulu warriors showed no mercy, fighting with the belief that they were defending their land and way of life. By mid-afternoon, the battle was over. The British camp lay in ruins, and most of its defenders were dead. The aftermath. The Battle of Isandlwana was a stunning victory for the Zulus. Around 1,300 British and Allied soldiers were killed, while Zulu casualties were estimated at about 3,000. It was one of the heaviest defeats ever suffered by the British Army against a native force. The news of the defeat sent shockwaves through Britain and the world. How could a supposedly primitive force triumph over one of the most advanced armies of the time? British newspapers and officials were stunned, and public opinion demanded swift retribution. For the Zulus, the victory was bittersweet. They had proven their strength, but they knew the British would not let this humiliation go unanswered. The British response. The defeat at Isandlwana galvanized the British into action. Reinforcements were sent to South Africa, and a new strategy was devised. Over the following months, the British launched a brutal campaign to crush the Zulu Kingdom. In July 1879, after several bloody battles, the British defeated the Zulu army at the Battle of Isandlwana. King Cetshwayo was captured, and the Zulu Kingdom was effectively dismantled. Legacy of Isandlwana. The Battle of Isandlwana remains one of the most significant events in colonial history. For the British, it was a humbling reminder that technological superiority does not guarantee victory. For the Zulus, it was a moment of pride, showcasing their bravery and tactical brilliance. Today, Isandlwana is a symbol of resistance against imperialism. The battlefield is preserved as a heritage site, where visitors can reflect on the courage and sacrifice of those who fought there. The Battle of Isandlwana is more than a historical event. It is a testament to the human spirit's resilience and the complexities of cultural clashes. It reminds us that even the mightiest empires can be humbled by those fighting for their land and freedom. As we remember this remarkable battle, let us honor the warriors on both sides who fought with courage and conviction. Their legacy endures, a powerful chapter in the history of Africa and the world. If you found this story as inspiring and gripping as we did, let us know in the comments. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from history. Together, let's keep these tales alive. Until next time, remember the Battle of Isandlwana, the Zulu victory over British forces in 1879. Thank you for watching.